Welcome back to the channel. We're back at the public auto auction Carriage trade down near Philadelphia, PA. We have the youngest member of the team along with today. He's looking for a vehicle as well. Is this your second vehicle by now?
Yeah, second one. First one didn't work out.
First one didn't work out. So we're in search of another one for him, and we have the trailer with just in case we find something. Let's head into the auction and see what we can find. The first one that catches my eye because of the color, gorgeous color, is a 2000 Jaguar. I know better. I should just keep on walking. But I had to stop and take a look. The front of them looks so cool, and some of the interiors are okay. It's a 2000, 96,000 miles on it. And being able to do the voiceover here gives me a chance to let you know what these went for, having stayed for the auction. And then also I can do the voiceover because it gets a little busy at the auction, and I don't want to interfere with the guys next to us doing the exact same thing. So this is an S-Type. The exterior is in fantastic shape. However, the interior deteriorated. It fell apart really quick because of the sun, and that's typical of Jaguar. The wood trim normally cracks. The leather cracks, as you can see. That's why they have this diamond stitch seat covers. And I know you guys don't like the diamond stitch seat covers, but this one has it. And I could pick this up and polish the crap out of this gorgeous paint, see how nice and bright we can get it, and restore the interior. I should have. I wasn't paying attention to this one because it is a Jaguar, and I was looking at others. This went for only $1,800. This starts up, the AC works, no lights on the dash. The AC was ice cold. It was in decent shape. It would have been a good parts go-getter or go out to dinner vehicle. Okay, so what we look for, I'm teaching him what to look for when you hop in a vehicle, looking around it. So we did start it up, and we have cold AC here, and I also like to put it down into reverse, feel it kick in, and it kicked in rather fast. If it's really lazy and slow, it takes a while to kick in. This is a J gate. See that J formation there? Mm-hmm. So put it down and you can feel it pop right away. So it's going into forward and reverse right away. I wait till people are done walking in front, and then I'll go forward a little bit, make sure that it moves, go back into space again, put it back up in the park, and then you can go ahead and test the radio, make sure the speakers work. The AC that's probably a good 45, 50 degrees. That's nice and cold. Your passenger doors open. Other than that, there's no check engine light. You want to check for what lights come up on the dash. Sometimes it's like a Christmas tree and all the lights come on. Other than that, you can check the lights. Yeah, you can make sure everything works in here. The brake pedal has a nice feel to it. It's not too mushy. You can pull the handbrake and put it in gear against that and make sure that that works. And it's holding it, so that's good. So this one in here, I mean, it's a Jaguar. It's not going to go for more than 2,000 or 3,000. You don't want to get these and bid on these unless it's something you plan on enjoying yourself, maybe to go out for dinner. But this wouldn't be for you, but I'm just kind of showing you what we'd be looking for in the interior.
Yeah.
All right, let's find something more in your line. Another thing I look for, a sticker up in the top left corner, and that means that whoever the owner was taking care of it. Normally the sticker up here will tell you when it needs to be serviced and oil changed, and if somebody's on top of it and there's a sticker up at the top left, you know it's in pretty good shape maintenance wise. All right, let's find something else. Cute little Fiat convertible, neat color, pearl white, pearl silver. looks new. It's 2019, has barely any miles on it, 24,000 miles. Unfortunately, this is one where they pulled the key. The convertible top is in good condition. Everything for the year should work and be in excellent condition, and it is. Too bad we can't get inside and start it. Next up, we come across a 1993. I think this was the last year that the Allantes were available, 93 or 94. But anyways, I've wanted one of these for quite some time. This has paint issues, so we can clean that up. It does have seal issues. We could take care of that. The top isn't in too bad a shape, but it's straight and it's rust-free, and it still has a shine in places. This is a great example of one of these. These are 4.6-liter V8s and about 300 horsepower or so. For the weight of them, they are pretty quick. 4-speed automatic front-wheel drive. I like to crawl under and check for rust, and this is in, again, decent shape, probably stored inside. The interior is in damn good shape. Little bit of wear and tear on the bolsters. The only problem is somebody left the ignition on, which means somebody really wanted this and they wanted the battery dead so nobody else could test it. And that really pisses me off, and I bid them up intentionally. If they want it, they're going to have to pay for it for doing that. Because you could see who's bidding on the vehicles. My bumper app shows I should be able to get this for $5,000 here at the auction. So when it went through, as another was looking at this and we were trying to get the hood open and maybe get a jump start unit to be called over here, I did not charge my booster, so I left it at home. But here is that North Star V8. The oil, nice and golden. Somebody took care of it. Somebody loved it. Unfortunately, it has to go through the auction. But pulling the cap here to make sure we have no buildup or froth or a white milky substance to show us it has a head gasket problem. I bid them up, and it went for $5,800, so they had to pay for it. Good for them. We finally found one that the youngster here was looking at. He was looking for a smaller pickup, a Ranger or an S10 or something like this. This is a Colorado. It does have its battle scars, normal for the year. And the mileage, I believe the mileage was somewhere around 163, if this is the one I'm thinking of. It looks like somebody had their pet in here. That's all right. Yeah, that's these don't help, some of these vehicles. But the key is in it. See if it has juice. And does the mileage check out? 163, 570.
Yep.
Any other lights on the dash? There's the brake light there, so there might be a problem with, that could be anything. There you go.
Yeah. Brakes off now.
All right, now.
Just low on fuel.
And just your seatbelt and airbag. That's not bad. AC, it's struggling. It's definitely struggling. That needs to be charged, or there's probably there's a little problem. How about the
EV there? Wow.
yeah, infotainment center? You got the wipers going there. Turn signals?
Yep, turn signals right.
Okay.
Felt like it lightly kicked it.
Okay. And then just go slowly back in to the spot. You are allowed to slowly drive forward, drive back, but you just can't take them out into the lot or out onto the roadway. That's good. All right, keep it running, pop the hood, and we'll check the engine. So, unfortunately, as we kept walking around and looking closer and closer, it joined a lot of the other smaller pickup trucks that were there that had some serious rust damage, especially the undercarriage. And that can be a lot of problems. I've been through that before. It did sound good. It sounded really good, and it could have used another battery. The belt seemed okay. didn't really seem like it had any problems. It wasn't stuttering, and it doesn't seem like it needed to be tuned up. Open that up, and I look for gunk, and I look for a white, milky, milkshake look to it. If you see that, it could be a sign that there's a head gasket problem, and you have water mixing with oil. This is high mileage, so you're going to see a little bit of gunk. And then I like to pull the dipstick, and that's pretty dark. I like to see it a light golden color.
Okay.
But when it's that dark, it's time to get it changed. And these are just little things you can look for on your own here. You can check all of the fluids. There's the trans. The coolant is good. And check the frame for rust. That's very important. This area here where the spring shackles to the frame is rusted through, and that's where you want to walk away. And we did walk by a vehicle that's gone through the auction here, a rare V12, 127,000 miles on a BMW 7 Series, but they pulled the key, so I can't take a look at it. It pisses me off when they do that. You have to walk all the way to the guard shack and give them your license. But what I wanted to show you are these marks here. We just did a video on these on the Apex Detail channel. These here are auto body filler marks, but on the hood here, what are these marks and how do we get rid of them? You should know that with the video we just had out not too long ago. Here's one that matches his search criteria. It has high mileage, so probably looking at about between $2,000 and $3,000. Faded plastic, not a whole lot of rust compared to some of the other ones that were there. Seems solid. So this is one we took some time and we looked over it very, very carefully. If it's dead winter or really hot in the summertime, bring a mat with. You got to get down and get underneath these things, or get a camera under, or something, a scope, whatever. You have to check for, this rust here, guys, is normal for the Northeast. It's just very light crusting or scaling. In the Northeast, we're not going to have cars like Arizona or Texas where the frame looks like new. It doesn't happen up here. If a screwdriver doesn't go through when you're poking around, you're in good shape here in PA. Somebody was keeping after it. So, high mileage, but somebody was keeping after it. The belt was in good shape. The oil was changed. It was nice and good. I mean, it was almost clear. It was in great shape. And the youngster made a great remark, asked a great question. He goes, how long do you think this would last? And I said, listen, at 240,000 miles, most of the major stuff has already been taken care of. It would have had to been. And we do find a Jasper sticker on the radiator support, so it does have an aftermarket engine. And I say, hey, at this point, go for it. Walking back inside to grab a bite to eat and do some research before the auction. The Mustang GT here caught my eye. The stripes are in sad shape. There's some bubbling and rusting going on in areas, but sounds really good. The wheels are okay. The interior is in decent shape. Somebody was already in here. There was some peeling of the inner door panel here. That's just, a little bit of adhesive. You can get that back on. It wasn't torn or really worn. But we just let whoever was looking into this do their thing, and we kept on going. All right, guys, that draws towards the end of the day. No luck today. I like what's up on the truck there, whatever that is. But now you have an idea of what to look for. You can come back with me. You can come back by yourself. You just have to pay some membership dues, and anybody can go into the the auction and bid. What did you think of the experience so far?
I really enjoyed it. Didn't see anything that I was going to get today, but definitely going to come back and look for something else.
It's always another day. I even when I'm not looking for something, I'll come back because you never know what comes through the auction. All right, Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. I'll catch you in the next video.